Good job. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. As long as the minority leader had a wonderful weekend, then the rest of us did too. All right, since the hour is late, we all got to eat. We got committee meetings. Let's get rolling. HB 85, Representative Cooper. I believe she presented this bill last week. I don't see her, so does anybody have any questions on that one? All right. HB 162, Representative McDonald. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of the committee, I bring to you House Bill 162, which is the tax refund legislation that you passed back in 21. It's the same legislation. The only difference in this tax refund is that we have added dependent children that are paying their taxes, that they will be able to also receive the tax refund. This is for the 2021-2022 tax season, and you have to pay your taxes before you're eligible for this refund. Ma'am, I'm sorry?
Any questions for our author? The great representative from Forsyth County?
Yes, sir.
You have any other counties?
No, sir.
Are you growing your hair out?
I'll let my good friend from Columbus answer that question.
Is he growing his hair out?
I think if we can have a moment of silence, I think his barber passed away.
It's his beautician.
But she does look pretty, doesn't she?
I don't really know where to go with that. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, committee.
All right, Dr. Newton. Great bill you got coming up
Great
here.
bill, great teamwork bill. I'm pleased to present House Bill 203. It's a bill to make a small direction of movement for patients to have better access to telemedicine in a particular area. Last time we looked at it was in 2015. We looked at eye care in Georgia. House Bill 203 would allow individuals with contact lenses that are working well for them to do renewals instead of having to go for an in-person exam every year and schedule that, including time off work. They could use telemedicine to refill that a working prescription. There's some guardrails around it. We work closely with the optometrist as well as the ophthalmologist and the eye care professionals that do telemedicine. The ages are 21 to 50. You can't have diabetes or hypertension, things that might make an in-person exam more important. And of course, at age 50, a lot of our reading glass needs start to change and the vision changes. So that's the reason for those parameters and guardrails. I'm glad to have worked with the optometrist, as I said, and the ophthalmologist, and a hopefully great Senate sponsor will take it over too.
In my understanding is we have a consensus on this, and everybody's happy. And
it is consensus at both committee meetings in health. The optometrists and other groups have spoken up in favor of this in full support.
Now, do you say diabetes or diabetes?
Diabetes.
Okay.
Diabetes works, though.
That guy from Cocoon always says diabetes.
Diabetes.
I always like it. All right. Any questions for our sponsor? All right. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Colonel Hitchens, HB 242.
Thank you very much. House Bill 242, previously known as Joshua's Law, was Senate Bill 205, passed in 2005. And what it did was make a driver's commission, and it was funded by 5% of traffic fines. What this does is provide 30 hours of classroom instruction, 6 hours of on-the-road instruction, and it's awarded based on two tiers. Number one is for law enforcement officers, firemen, people in public safety who are killed in the line of duties. Children get first priority. Second priority goes to children who have financial need, and it's based on 175% of school lunch program. The money is still being collected. It expired last June 30th. I think it was second or third on the calendar last year when the lieutenant governor decided to give his going away speech, and it didn't make it. Senator Albers was carrying it. So be glad to answer any questions. That's the basics.
Where did he go?
Where did who go?
Exactly. Got a question from Chairman of Regulated Industries, number
Yes, sir.
5.
Our summary says it's to provide additional penalty. Does this increase the 5% add-on on your traffic?
No, it reduced and I try not to go into too much detail. The 5% during our inflationary times back in 2009 was reduced to 1.5%. There's such a demand for this that they can't serve everybody. So in this bill, it takes it back up to 3%. But there's overwhelming demand. And the good part of it is that those people that take this course, who's come from home sometimes where they don't have a lot of responsibility, do better on the testing. They have less accidents, less fatalities, less traffic violations than their peer group. So it's, and I'm carrying it for the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Thank you.
Any questions? Any other questions? Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you.
Great job. Great presentation. Okay. What number was that? All right. HB 311 for my representative, Lynn Smith. I don't see her, but I can do that one. If y'all remember last year, we passed a constitutional amendment that went to the voters and passed on the ballot that simply allowed for temporary property tax relief after a natural disaster. And this bill came about from the tornadoes that hit Noonan, and they hit in March of that year, and people, their property taxes were set at the full amount as of January 1. And so some of these folks were paying full property taxes on a house that didn't even exist. And so this bill simply allows the local tax commissioners to provide that relief should something happen. Any questions for me? Good. All right. Representative Hilton, who's back.
That's right.
He's back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Honored to present to you House Bill 402, named the Edna Mae McGovern Act after a 9-year-old who tragically passed from a drowning accident. The bill states that schools at the beginning of the year shall provide either electronically or hard copy instructions on where children and families can access free and reduced swimming lessons in their community. Drowning accidents, unfortunately, are the second leading cause of death for ages 15 and younger, and this is something we want to stop here in Georgia. So happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
Senator Still will be carrying the bill on the Senate side.
Well, you were doing so good
I was told he was all things pools.
until then. He does know a lot about pools, I think. So I'm told. Well, any questions for our author on his first time to rules for his second round?
Retread, yeah. I had to learn again. I hope it
You
takes
did
this-
great. You did great.
Thank
What'd you do in between? Remind me where you worked.
Ran the governor's Georgians First Commission.
Oh.
Yeah.
Georgians are first. If you ain't first, you're last. All right, no questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Did a
Chairman.
great job. Representative Stoner, who's also back. A lot of retreads in the House this year. What's going on there?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Well, actually, you're a retread from the Senate. You downgraded. What's up with that?
Well, started in the House, went to the Senate, went back to the House. Maybe I'll come back to the Senate one day. I don't know.
We'd love to have you.
Well, very quickly, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, House Bill 440 that I have here for you today specifically deals with type 1 diabetic students in both our private and public schools. And what it's allowing is allowing schools, authorizing them, not requiring them, not mandating, to be able to stock what you would call undesignated or unregistered ready-to-use glucagon. So if you're having a severe hyperglycemic episode, meaning your glucose levels are dropping like a rock, it's every student, in fact, every type 1 diabetic is prescribed a glucagon pen or a glucagon kit, depending on how you want to describe that. And it's there, obviously, to stop that episode because it can lead to brain damage and death. So unfortunately, children have a habit of occasionally losing things, including their prescription medication. And so what this is doing is allowing schools to stock this for emergency purposes, just like we do for EpiPens, what we do for albuterol and Narcan nowadays. And this is just specifically to allow them to stock it, authorize to do it, not mandate it, allows the pharmacists to prescribe it, and for doctors to, in a sense, prescribe it to a school to be able to give it to someone in case of an emergency situation, Mr. Chairman.
And my understanding is tomorrow's type 1 day.
That is correct. Tomorrow is Type 1 Day here at the Capitol, both in the House and the Senate.
So that'd be a good bill to have on tomorrow. All right, I do have a question from my vice chairman.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Stoner said the shelf life on this glucagon, how long will it last?
It's 2 years at room temperature. And something else this bill does is that it allows us to work with the pharmaceutical companies to hopefully make, donations or discounted rates for public schools and for private schools to provide this. So that's also what this bill allows for them to accept donations and things like that. But it's 2 years at room temperature.
Thank you.
Great question. Great question. Do you say diabetes or diabetes?
I say diabetes because my wife, who's a type 1 diabetic, will chew my ass out if I say diabetes.
Whoa. I've had to get on the senators about their language around here.
I know. Let's just say I'll get in trouble.
All right, well, any questions? All right, no
watching.
questions. Go on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Saines, are you with us? Chairman Albers, you want to cover that for him since you're the bill sponsor? HB 482. What's your number 3?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This just simply closes a loophole for folks who are using the relocation quality jobs to make sure that we are only having businesses use that and not not-for-profits.
Any questions? Hearing none. Okay, HR 66, Representative Gamble. Come join us.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, it's good to be with you all today. I have House Resolution 66, which is Governor Kemp's executive order to suspend the motor fuel and diesel fuel taxes. This is basically a procedural step that we need to take from the fact that those were suspended from March of last year until January of this year. The governor's actions helped to deliver a little more than $1.7 billion in relief to hardworking Georgians that were dealing with record-breaking inflation. So that is the essence of House Resolution 66. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Got a question from
3 here.
Chairman Hofstadter.
Just wanted to make a comment on this fourth of 4 good, well-vetted finance bills on the sheet. I made a judgment call without checking with him that the lieutenant governor would be okay with this bill because if we don't pass it, the distributors have to pay back all those 10 months of suspended taxes.
That's correct.
I assumed he would be good with that to get this passed.
Okay. Were you expecting more out of me? Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all of them? That's all of them. All right, we move right through that. All right, let's pick a few. Where are we at? Let's start at the top.
Representative Cooper is here.
Oh, Representative Cooper, we already covered your bill. Would you like to? Well, actually, we didn't. Go ahead and hop up there. And then.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here for for House Bill 85. It's the biomarker bill. Biomarkers are a diagnostic test that allow physicians on many of our cancers and some of our serious autoimmune diseases to get the right medicine to the patient the first time by using these biomarker tests. and I would appreciate a positive vote and allowing it to come to the floor.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Representative Maynard, you want to come up? You got something?
Yes, thank you, Chair. This is House Bill 142 LC 393532. This passed out of the Senate last year, and I was grateful for Senator Robertson to carry it for me. This year, it's going to be Chairman Payne carrying it. What does this bill do? It is a united police force bill. So the Atlanta University Center is the only consortium in the country, and it allows the police force to combine and streamline their police force to be united. The law just allows them to opt into an agreement. Without the current code, they cannot do that. And with the current shooting on Clark's campus, it is even more urgent than ever.
Okay.
I'm happy to answer any questions for a favorable vote.
Any questions on that one? It's not. Doesn't mean you can't ask questions. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's pick a few. All right, I'm start with my vice chairman today. Chairman Ginn, what you got?
I always want to do income tax. Income tax, so I'm going to pick HB 162.
HB 162. Okay. Let's go with Randy Robertson.
Mr. Chairman, because I care about the children, HB 440, please.
440
For the children.
on type 1 day. That'll be a good one. All right. Back at the top. President Pro Tem Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. About House Bill 402.
402. Okay. Minority Leader Butler.
Bill 85.
85. Okay. And let's see.
You got the other one. 440. Let's see who's carrying that. Okay.
Kennedy.
Senator Cowser.
I'll take House Bill 482, since we're doing tax relief. That's the one you needed.
Cowser. No, sir.
Oops. I'll get it for you if you.
Oh, I didn't even see. I thought you weren't coming.
I came in late.
All right, what do you got?
HR 66. Oh, I thought that was good. Good deal.
66.
Another tax credit.
Another tax credit. All right, and then I'm going to add 311. We'll just have tax day
Quiet down.
and type 1 day.
That's perfect. Trying to keep you transportation guys in business.
Ooh, I went over my allotment. I might get fired. So,
We'll cover for you.
You should add a couple more.
Sunny dies coming over.
what'd you say?
Motion to agree.
Understood. All right. I've got HB 311, HB 402, HB 85, HR 66, HB 162, HB 440, and HB 482. Got a motion from my vice chairman and a second from my secretary, Anderson. Wait, who's my secretary? Your secretary.
I'm second.
What are you?
I'm just nobody.
Your secretary light. All right. Well, Cowser, he seconded that. I heard it. My real secretary. He was just over there taking good notes, and I thought he was my secretary. All right. Got a motion. Do pass. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimous. Meeting adjourned. Go to your committee meetings.